Hello everyone, it's Flare31 here. Welcome to a new Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. And it's about time. I was thinking about what I wanted to do, and I was like, it's time to bust out the Zelda series. I'm gonna get ahead of this before it becomes a question. I have no plans, and I will never have plans to play the 2D Legend of Zeldas, similar to how I'm not playing the 2D Marios. It's just how it is, so let's not say I don't enjoy them or haven't played them or anything, but I digress. Options here, we can do our sound or brightness check and our Z targeting. We're gonna leave the sound as is. For Z targeting, the real difference here is that when you're on Switch, which is what it defaults to actually, then when you're targeting something and you press the target button, it will switch back and forth between whatever enemies are around. Whereas if you're on hold, it will be, you have to hold down your Z button to target, and then when you let go, it stops targeting. With Switch, you can't stop targeting at will as easily unless you're fighting a single enemy, because if you press the target button on a single enemy, it will untarget it. But if you have multiple enemies, the only way to untarget is to hold down on the control stick and press the targeting button again after that. And so for that reason specifically, I prefer hold, but they kind of both have their own advantages, disadvantages, and so you might have to experiment a little bit to decide which one you want to use. The big problem with though is that you can only change this on the title screen options here. There's no in-game options menu for you to like mess around with. So if you want to change it, you have to save, restart the console, turn it back on, go to here. It's the whole thing. But yeah, if you're wondering what the downside to hold is, it's harder to target multiple enemies and like switch between them. You're pretty much gonna have a better time if you focus on one of them, defeat that one, and then do the next one. And sometimes that's not as good for what you're wanting to do, but we deal with it. So that's the options here. Something else I want to bring up and get out of the way while we're on the screen. One, I am playing the NTSC version 1.1 version of the game, specifically. And for those not in the know, the original N64 version had 3 different NTSC versions and some PAL versions, but as I am American, NTSC is what we care about here, and the difference between them is pretty minuscule unless you are doing specific niche things in the game like speedrunning, or you're just like wanting to take advantage of glitches that have been patched. But essentially the original 1.0 version had a lot more glitches. 1.1 patched some of them and fixed some like things that existed that are kind of annoying to deal with. So that's kind of nice. But then there's also a 1.2. And so why aren't we playing that? Well, 1.2 completely got rid of some things and changed them out for other things. I don't like calling it censoring because it kind of isn't, but you could consider that. So just for posterity, I was like, well, let's just use the uncensored version. But it doesn't really matter if you want to play along and you have a 1.2 cartridge, then like you'll still be completely fine. Like there's no gameplay changes that are prevalent enough to matter. So that being said, if you have a GameCube version, it's pretty much just the 1.2 version with like some minor changes because it's on a GameCube and it's being emulated on the GameCube. But those are perfectly fine. If you have Ocarina of Time 3D, in a sense it's kind of like a 1.3. Like it doesn't change enough to really matter, but there will be like some very minute differences that you might have to glean on your own if you want to play along on that. I will say this now also, that I do plan on doing a separate Ocarina of Time 3D Let's Play because of reasons that I'll get to when I get to it. But so if you want to wait up for that, you can. If you don't have to. And that's it for that. Let's go ahead and make our file. And if you're new here, we do canon names around these parts. And of course, we play as Zelda. No, Link. Where's Link? Where's the N? Alright, there we go, Link. And now we have Link. Especially in this game, I like naming the character Link because it's literally the character's name and it gets used in the text in game, leading to some funny moments. Some that caught on like a decade ago. It's as weird as that is to say. But yeah, you can have fun with that if you want, but something I want to point out real quick on this file select screen is you can see how many hearts you have, and you can see this number here on the left that says 000. That's actually a death counter, so you can see how many times you died. However, it only tracks the deaths if you save over them. Because when you die, it'll be like, do you want to save? And then it asks, do you want to continue? So if you don't save, and then you continue, but then you save later, it'll still count that. But if you reset after you die without saving, then it won't show up here. So it doesn't really matter. Like, it's just, I guess, for you to look at and be like, oh, I died this many times during this playthrough. But anyway. In the vast, deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither. Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it? The climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now. Find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly! The fate of the forest, nay, the world depends upon thee. Link, wake up! The great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Link, get up! Come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? You finally woke up. I'm Navi the Fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. So let's get going, right now. Okay. And here we are in the game. So it might be apparent, especially by now, that things look kind of crisp. And that's because I am emulating the game, and I'm doing so because we get to use the nice OOT reloaded texture pack, which just upscales all the textures to 4K. So it's super nice. As such, we might see occasional small rendering bugs that comes with emulation, and then we also might maybe see some stuttering from like loading the textures, but hopefully it shouldn't be that bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and exit our room, I guess. Yahoo! Hi, Link. Hi. Let's go down the ladder. We can press A to drop down if we want, but... Hi. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Link. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. Alright, so this is a sign in front of our house. This is Link's house. Very nice. Something else I want to mention as we're on the topic of texture packs and stuff. Quite recently, as this is being recorded, there was a recompilation, I should say, of Ocarina of Time, so that it's essentially a native PC port of the game, which is super cool and allows you to do some really crazy stuff with the visuals, like doing like native widescreen and upscaling the frame rate to like 60 FPS or 120 FPS or whatever FPS. And it all just works really well because it's native and stuff. And that's super cool. The reason I'm not playing that version is for consistency's sake more than anything across like Majora's Mask and other such things. I think it would be a little bit weird to have like this really nice PC port and then go to back to the N64 or back to the GameCube or whatever, you know. So that's the main reason. Also, it's kind of new, and I kind of want to show the game as it was originally to some extent. So, as such, we're also only playing with the 20 FPS that the game runs at, and I think the menus are 30 FPS, like this, I think is 30 FPS. So, that's nice. Let's talk about the pause menu while we're here. You can actually see the map screen, and it'll show you where you currently are, which is nice. It says your current position down there in the bottom right. However, that's not what the blinking. The blinking is not your current position. The blinking is actually a point of interest to be like, hey, you have something you need to do here. So nice to keep in mind. And then we also have this quest status screen with nothing on it important yet. So in the equipment, we have our Kokiri tunic and our Kokiri boots. That's it. But we can see a nice picture of Link there, which is kind of funny to look at. And then we have some items that we don't actually have any of. And let's talk about Link, because Link in this game is kind of interesting. I am using a N64 controller, so I'm going to be referring to the controls as if you are using an N64 controller, but if you're playing on a GameCube controller or some other controller, you'll have to translate. But as you can see on the top right, there's the C buttons. And C up is actually Navi whenever that little sign is blinking with Navi on it, and so we press it. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please come with me. You can get Navi's input every once in a while. She'll like go like, hey! And you can press C up to see what she wants. We also have our context-sensitive A button, which was new and revolutionary at the time, which lets us roll if we're moving. It also lets us attack things or put things away and stuff like that. But we can't jump because why would you be able to jump? Let's go ahead and check out Saria's house. I hope you don't mind, Saria. Oh, look, there's some recovery hearts in here. Wow. What a nice house this is. You can change the camera angle when you're in houses like this with C up, which is kind of fun. And what is this guy doing? That meanie Mito made me cut the grass at Saria's house. Mito told Saria he would do it so she would like him, but I'm the one doing all the work. You and Saria are close friends, so will you help me cut the grass? I'll let you keep anything that you find while you're cutting it. I would, but I have nothing to cut it with, so you're kind of on your own there, buddy. Now, as we can see on the bottom right map there, the Great Deku Tree is obviously over here. But... hey you, Mr. No Fairy. What's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. What? You've got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you. What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mito? This isn't funny. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're gonna help with the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and shield ready? What? You're right. I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh. So, Mito here is going to block us from getting to the Great Deku Tree until we get a sword and a shield, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So let's continue exploring. Does this sign just say Deku Tree this way? Yeah. Just ahead, Great Deku Tree's Meadow. Wow. I'm not as familiar with the Legend of Zelda series as a whole, just in general, as I am with the Mario series, so I'm going to be a little bit less knowledgeable as I usually am, which is fine. I've definitely never taken the time to actually like talk to the NPCs and read the signs before, so that's going to be a fun time for me. House of Twins. And let's check out the twins. There's 2 beds there, which is kind of fun. There are pots, and as everyone that's played a Zelda game knows, you smash pots. It's just how it works. And it's got some rupees in it, which is nice. Hi. My sister took some rupees and went shopping at the store that has a red roof. Tee hee. Speaking of rupees, a green one is worth 1, a blue one is worth 5, and a red one is worth 20. Hee hee. Nice. I see some color elitism going on here, red being the most expensive. Poor green, always get shafted, but it is what it is. There's this rock back here you can actually pick up and throw rocks as well. And you might be like, let's pick up the grass. And then Link is like, oh, I can't do it. Not strong enough to pull out the grass for some reason. So this was Saria's house. If we go up here though, there is this roof. Can we? Yeah, we can jump onto it. And if you, the way you jump on things in this game is you kind of like walk up to edges like this, walk off to the wall. And if you press up into the wall, like you try to walk into it, it will auto jump for you to get up. And let's cross this bridge. And oh, you're up here. Hee 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 hee. You came all the way up here. You're a real man. Look, isn't this view pretty? Change your viewpoint with C up, so you can look around the forest with stick. Alright, let's do that. So yeah, if you press C up when Navi doesn't want to talk to you, then you can actually go into a first-person view and literally look anywhere you want. The control stick controls are inverted, so down is up and up is down, which is kind of weird, but it's whatever. And yeah, sometimes it's useful, but most of the time it's not. There's a rupee up here for your troubles. As you can see, I'm kind of messing around with the camera. The way that the camera works, generally speaking, for what you want to do is if you press Z, then you can center the camera behind Link, which is nice and useful. Because generally speaking, if you're not going straight, then it's going to be kind of hard to get what you want to do done, but just whatever. So there's supposed to be a red roof, right? Oh, that's the red roof building. Alright, fine, let's go over there. Hi. Oh, you have a fairy now. That's great, Link. What? You've been called by the Great Deku Tree. What an honor. He may give you a special gift, tee-hee. Why is everyone tee-hee? That's because the Great Deku Tree is our father. Excuse me? The forest guardian, and he gave life to all of us Kokiri. I don't know about that one. That one seems a bit far-fetched, but I guess sure. You get some rupees if you jump over all the little platforms there. Stepping stones in the pond. If you boldly go in the direction you want to jump, you will leap automatically. If you hop around the stones, you'll become happier. Yeah, so similar to the wall ledges where you get like auto jump up them if you're pressing up. If you try to walk off a ledge, Link will automatically jump. So that's how jumping works. Kokiri shop, we have original forest goods. Hi Link, look this way. Look over here with Z and talk to me with A. Yeah, so you can see Navi kind of flies up to the girl up there that's sitting on the I don't know what you call that, an overhang? Something like that. But anyway, so if you Z target her, which is by pressing Z, while Navi is kind of flying around her like that, and then you press A, you can speak from afar. Yes, that's how you use a fairy. It's so great that you finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to people using your fairy. I just said this. When a fairy flies near a person or thing, press E to look in that direction. If you use Z targeting, you can talk to people from a distance, like we're doing now. When you have nothing that you can target, you can press Z just to look forward. Try it. Yeah, so Z targeting is very nice. Make use of it. Let's go into the shop and not bonk into the wall. So you're the other twin, huh? I see the resemblance. This shop, it sells things that you can get in the forest for free. Teehee. Do you know how to use the Deku shield? Teehee. Oh, I'm letting the music sink in. It's so good. When you get the shield, press start to get into the subscreens. Select the equipment subscreen with Z or R. On the equipment subscreen, choose the item you want to equip and press A to equip that item. Once you equip it, hold it up with R and change its angle with control stick. Teehee. Now there is a secret blue rupee back here that I do know about, so that's fun. And then we got this guy here, this is the shopkeep. Welcome. Talk to the owner. We sell shields, but not swords. Great. So yeah, this guy sells a lot of stuff. A lot of it is very useless and not worth buying. Like, the recovery heart is not worth buying. The arrows aren't worth buying because we need a bow. We don't have a bow. They also have like different slots for like, this is 10 pieces of arrow, and this is 30 pieces of arrow. And they have Deku Seeds, but you need a slingshot, and we don't have that. And then here's our shield, which is 40 rupees that we don't have. And then we got some Deku Nuts, which we can actually buy, but there's not really much of a point. You can find them pretty easily. Same thing with the Deku Stick. You only get one for 10 rupees, which is not worth it at all. So yeah, let's back out of that and get to looking for some more money. Plus, they don't sell swords, so we kind of need a sword if we're gonna do much of anything here. Kind of went the wrong way, but it's okay. I was like, we're gonna go back this way, and it'll be great. There's usually like some sort of rupees hidden in the tall grass, if you will. Pokemon brain rot. Calling everything tall grass. A by the stone, pick it up. A by the stone, pick it up. Mean old Mito. He made me pick up the rocks in front of his house. This is Mito's house? House of the Great Mito, boss of the Kokiri. Okay. Great. We'd love that one. Oh, he's got a bunch of loot. Opens the treasure chest with A. Get a blue rupee. That's 5 rupees. Wow. More rupees. Is this guy just loaded? Recovery heart. Okay. And finally, last but not least, a green rupee. Wow, we really cheaped out in the last one. That's okay though. Look at this nice camera angle. I bet like almost no one ever changed the camera angle. Because why would you? It's not not really worth doing, but I digress. Let's go ahead and head up this way actually. Oh, there's a blue rupee back here. So now we have our 40 rupees. But, you know, it's always nice to get more. You can never have enough, right? So we got this area up here. The Lost Woods. And we got the Lost Woods. Whoa. Alright, yeah, this is Lost Woods. We'll come back here later. Not really worth going that way right now, but it's nice to know that it's there. And then we got this thing. The statue's one-eyed gaze pierces into your mind. Spooky. Let's just leave that alone. Jump on down. And this is, what is this? Forest folk shall not leave these woods. Is this the exit then? You're not allowed to leave the forest. The great Deku Tree said that if a Kokiri leaves the woods, he or she will die. Sounds like some sounds like some propaganda to me. Low key, but similar to Mito, we can't pass by here. And before anyone says anything, I know everyone and their mother says Mito, but that's because they're American. But it's clearly Japanese, and so it should be Mito. Forest Training Center. Don't recklessly cut signs. Read them carefully. House of the Know-It-All Brothers. These guys know it all, huh? How do you get a title like that? We are the Know-It-All Brothers. I can teach you about the icons at the top of the screen. About the yellow icons and about the blue icon. Okay, let's learn about the blue icon first. The blue icon at the top of the screen is called the action icon. This action icon shows you what action you will perform when you press A. Stop in many spots to see the different things you can do. Yeah, so the icons up there actually are colored the same way they are in an N64 controller. So the A button's actually blue and the B button's actually green. And the C buttons are actually yellow, so that's pretty fun. Generally speaking, in the game, if you have text, you can actually press B to like load it all at once instead of letting it scroll. But it doesn't work on every piece of text in the game. Some of them are like flagged to be like, don't let them skip this text. And it's kind of annoying when that happens. About the yellow icons. The 3 yellow icons in the upper right are called C icons. They display the things you can use with the C left, C down, and C right buttons. Once you get a C button item, go into the select item subscreen set to one of the 3 C buttons. Yeah, we don't have any of those right now, but it'd be nice enough for the future. This pot. Oh, there's a bunch of you guys in here. Wow. We'll go back to this angle. I think it's more cinematic to talk to people. If you want to learn about the map and items, just ask me. But don't ask unless you want to hear a long explanation. Oh no. What do you want to know about? Don't ask. Fine, about the map. There's a map displayed at the bottom right of the screen. Oh, that map. It's not even the pause screen map. Okay. The yellow arrow shows your current position and direction you are facing. The red mark shows where you entered the area from. You can turn the map display on and off with the L button. If you want to see the name of a place, press start. You'll get into the subscreens. Select the map subscreen. On the map subscreen, you can see a map of Hyrule. Did you get all that? That wasn't really that long, first of all, but yeah. I'll maybe elaborate on that a little bit more. Do you want to know how to use the C up button? Yes. Press C up, you can change your view. Yes, we've discovered this. In a place like this, it will switch to a top-down view. Outdoors in a field, for example, it will switch to a first-person perspective. Yep. Also, when Navi is displayed in the upper right of your screen, Navi the fairy wants to talk to you. Use C up to listen to her. It's pretty good. Alright, tell me about the, what was that, items? Yeah, skip all that. About items. There are 3 kinds of items: equipment items, C button items, and quest items. Equipment items are things like the sword, shield, and clothes that are effective when you equip them. C button items can be set to C left, C down, and C right, and used by pressing those buttons. Quest items are things you can collect during your adventure. You just carry them around. If you want to change equipment or just check on your inventory, press start. You will get into the subscreens. Switch to one of the 4 different subscreens with Z or R, and change or take items as you please. Take a look around. When you decide to equip an equipment item, press A. For C button items, press C left, C down, or C right. That was a pretty long explanation. Did you understand everything? Yeah. This ain't my first rodeo, buddy. But yeah, everything he said was pretty succinct, actually. So, yeah, if you press L, then it can hide the map like that. That's what he's talking about. And if you press it again, it'll show it again. And yeah, you can see our yellow marker moving around, and the red marker is right at this this exit right here. So you always know where you came from, which is nice. Thrust attack signs. The thrust of your sword press. But we don't have a sword yet. Useless, all of it. You're probably gonna tell me something about the sword, aren't you? Alright, well, let's talk to him. Hey, let's work on some moves. To jump sideways while Z-targeting, press A as you move right or left. To do a backflip while Z-targeting, press A as you move backwards. To do a roll attack while Z-targeting, press A as you move forward. While you roll, you can avoid damage. I actually never realized that you could you have a Dark Souls dodge. I never realized I actually did that. That's funny. If you have your sword ready while Z-targeting, you can do a jump attack by pressing A. The jump attack does double damage. You can use Z-targeting on the stone next to me, so let's practice. Yeah, so if you're Z-targeting onto something, then Link will actually sidestep instead of turn when you press left or right. It doesn't have to be locked on, just while you're holding your Z-target, it'll do this. And if you are holding a direction, you press A, you'll jump in that direction. Backflip. And then there is a rupee there if you backflip into it. It's kind of just like this general area towards the center. And then, yeah, you can roll towards it and stuff like that. To do a dodge, the Zelda to Dark Souls pipeline is real. Oh, this probably told us how to crawl into here. I just kind of did it, but yeah, if you can crawl into things. Hole of Z. Let's go through this small hole. Stand in front of the hole and push towards it. When the action icon shows enter, press A to crawl into the hole. Pay attention to what the action icon says. Yeah, so you can see it says enter up there. So you can enter. And so Link will just crawl through. And now here we are. You can kind of peek around edges and stuff with the Z targeting camera. Viewpoint with Z targeting. When you have no object to look at, you can just look forward with Z. Stop moving and then change the direction you're facing or hold down Z for a little while. This can help you get oriented in the direction you want to face. It's quite convenient. If you hold down Z, you can walk sideways while facing straight ahead. Walking sideways can be a very important technique in dungeon corridors. Turn around and try doing this right now. I'm not gonna try doing it right now. There's, however, a blue rupee back there. Then we got this boulder. Don't want to get run over by the boulder. And then another blue rupee. Let the boulder pass. And not actually think that I was in the range of the boulder. Visit the House of the Know-It-All Brothers to get answers to all your item-related questions. We already did that. We're ahead of the game. You got the Kokiri sword. On the equipment subscreen, select with the cursor and equip of the day. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. Yeah, so now we have the sword, and so we can come over here and press A to equip it. While you're paused right here, if you press B, you notice that says save. You can actually save your game at any point when you pause, which is nice. But for right now, I'm just gonna return with the start button. Again. All right, let's get out of here. Oh my god, I kept rolling into the wall instead of actually crawling. Switch targeting. We don't have that. If you see a triangle icon above an object, you can target it with Z. In other words, if you press Z when you see a triangle above an object, you can lock onto it. Press Z again, the lock will either release or it will transfer to the next object with the triangle above it. When you have many enemies in your field of view and you want to escape, press Z while holding back on control stick against targeting. You can target the stones next to this time for practice. Alright, yeah, I guess it's not move out of the range, it's press back on the control stick, but anyway, it's a little bit awkward regardless. But of course we don't have switch targeting, we have hold targeting. You can kind of do switch targeting anyway if you press it fast enough, which is kind of fun. But yeah. Stick out the sword that we were learning about. And where's the sign at? Here we go. Cut grass with your sword. If you swing with B, you'll cut horizontally. If you hold Z as you swing, you cut vertically. Yeah, so you can cut grass, and you can cut signs. You can also kind of influence the direction of your slice with the control stick. So like right now I'm holding forward and it's doing the vertical slice even though I'm not Z targeting. Thrust attack signs. To thrust with your sword, press B or press stick toward your target while Z targeting, then press B. Yeah, so if you're Z targeting, oh my god, I hit back. Lock onto it. Yeah, so you can thrust like that. On the other hand, though, because you're Z targeting, you automatically do the vertical slice, so you have to press like left or right to do the slicing of any direction. And then, as we were told, you can actually press A while you have your sword out to do a jump attack instead of roll, which is what happens when you have your sword put away, which you can put away with A when you're staying still. So, all of that said and done, let's go ahead and buy our shield that we're gonna need so we can go see the Great Deku Tree. The Great Deku Tree is gonna be like, what took you so long? Give me the shield. Deku shield. Buy. You got a Deku shield! Switch to the equipment subscreen, select the shield, press A to equip it. Yes, yes, yes. Press R to crouch and defend. If you press R while Z targeting, you can move while defending. No, I'd not like to buy anything else. So, buying stuff doesn't automatically just like make it unavailable. You can actually come back and buy it again if you need it. So, but you can only have one equipment item like that at a time. So, the Deku Shield included can only be one at a time. Let's go ahead and equip it. No, don't save. I'm so used to backing out menus with B. Alright, yeah, so now we have the shield. When Link takes out his sword, he'll automatically hold the shield in front of him. And you can actually hold R to crouch, which also like blocks with the shield, is kind of the point. If you're Z targeting, he won't crouch, but he'll still put the shield in front of him. And you can kind of control where you're facing to some extent with the control stick while you're crouching like that. And when you're doing this, you'll move around instead of being able to control your angle. So that's that. Mito. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Eh? What's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the great Mito, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot! How did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Grumble, grumble. Grumble, grumble. That's right, move out of the way. I, the great Mito, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Yeah, okay. Maybe it's because I'm likable. You ever think about that? So as we go through here, there's some enemies here. And if you kill them, you can get a Deku Stick. Our first C button item. Yeah, set it to swing and swing it to C. When you want to put it away, stand still and press A. You can carry up to 10 sticks, but don't waste them. Yeah, so let's log on to this guy. If you're locked onto something, like an enemy, then you can press C up and have Navi actually tell you about it. So this is a Deku Baba. Though it looks withered, it will hurt you if you touch it. So yeah, this is a very withered Deku Baba. And as such, they aren't really much of a threat. You can just kind of walk up to them and hit them with your sword. Let's go ahead and look at our new C button item. So anything on this screen right here, the select item screen, is a C button item, and you can put it to anything you want. I just want to put it to C left. And then it's kind of like the sword, but the sword's always assigned to B. Instead, you press C left to take it out, and then instead of pressing B, if you press B, it'll automatically take out the sword again. So instead, you have to press C left again to swing it around. And it's kind of like a sword. It basically functions like a sword. You can actually slash with it and do damage and stuff, but it does break, unlike your sword. So that's the annoying part. And yeah. Great Deku Tree, I'm back. Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the great Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? No. I mean, okay, yes, sure. Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, you see up to listen well to her words of wisdom. Alright, we're gonna have to tackle this in the next episode. So, thanks for sticking it out through the boring tutorial stuff. But I think it's necessary, or maybe not necessary, but I think it's nice to include it for anyone that has never played the game before, because we take for granted a lot of stuff about games, nowadays especially, and sometimes it's not so obvious to everyone, so I like to cover it anyway. So yeah, let's end it here. Do the YouTube stuff. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you really liked it, and if you disliked it, then hit the dislike button. It's still there, even though you can't see it anymore, the numbers. But I'll see everyone next time.